This is an introduction to anarchism. Now, anarchism is the opposition to all authority and all coercive domination. Now, there's different branches of anarchism. Some are mutually inclusive. Like people like to debate between different ideologies within anarchism, but in practical life, they kind of all blend together. Like every tradition has its place within the camp of anarchism, in my opinion. The first version of anarchism I would like to talk about is individualist anarchism, specifically egoist anarchism, influenced by the German anarchist Max Stirner. Now, Max Stirner believed that everything should be boiled down to the individual, and the individual should determine what is right and what is wrong, and that the individual is sovereign and the individual is supreme. Now, within individualism, there's two philosophical traditions. There's the natural law position, which is pretty much represented by a young Benjamin Tucker, who believed that, hey, individuals have the right to do what they wish as long as they do not infringe on the natural rights of others. Now, when he got older, he pretty much had the same position, but he kind of rejected the whole natural rights theory, and he pretty much said, hey, it's just egoism. It's just individuals should be individuals, and the best way not to be killed is not to mess with other people. If you're good to other people, if you're friendly to other people, they do not want to kill you. So you don't have to waste, you don't have to fight wars against other people if you're just friendly to other people. All right, then you have mutualism, which originates with the French anarchist Pierre-Joseph Proudhon. Now, his idea was focusing on the individual is fine, but we need to focus on the social relations of multiple individuals, because society is about a collection of individuals, not just one individual. And he pretty much said we should have mutual reciprocal relationships with everyone. That there should not be an exploiter, there should not be a dominator, there should not be a ruler. That every single social relationship should be egalitarian and equal. And that it should be a mutualistic relationship rather than a parasitic relationship. Then you have this Russian anarchist, Mikhail Bakunin, said, okay, talking about the individual is fine, talking about social relations is fine, but in the real world, individuals need other individuals. That we should be more collective in our mindset. That you could be an individualist, you could be an egoist, but you need to realize that we are all dependent on one another. And he named his philosophy collectivist anarchism. Now, his collectivist anarchism was not anti-individualist. I mean, all anarchism at its base is individualist. So his idea was okay, the best way to serve individual liberty is if we all collectively own everything, and then we should determine distribution by labor. That we should collectively own all the workplaces, and that workers should determine their salaries through democratic councils, and then workers should receive labor vouchers or labor notes rather than money, and then we should use these labor vouchers or labor notes in a common market, in a collective market. And he pretty much said, when we do this enough and like we get to an abundance of goods, we could eventually abolish all this stuff and move to a moneyless society called communism. Which brings me to another Russian anarchist, Pyotr Kropotkin. And his idea was, hey, how about we just go straight to full-on communism? And, maybe originally we should mandate that, hey, if you want to be a part of this commune, you have to contribute 4 hours of your labor per day to community projects if you want to be a part of the commune. And eventually we could just lower the mandatory working hours lower and lower until all work is abolished. So, those are, and also then there's anarcho-primitivism, which they say, hey, as long as you have civilization and agriculture and stuff, you'll have domination, you'll have authority, you have laws, you have states. So the best way to demolish all these bad things is to return to an hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Then you have anarcho-pacifism, which say, hey, we oppose all violence, and in order, if we abolish all violence, then governments will have no power. So anarchism and pacifism go together because, hey, if a politician says, hey, you should not smoke marijuana, and they do not have a violent police force and a violent prison system to enforce that opinion, then they are toothless, they are powerless. So anarchism and pacifism in that sense go together. So there's a lot of different interpretations of anarchism, but these are the basics. And I hope you have found this productive for you.